Hello, Baba and Nyonya. We are here again in National Museum, but this time it's different. We are having a chit-chat with Miriam Yeo, assistant curator for Now Boarding. It's very interesting exhibition, but I let her explain to us and the journey that we go through the exhibition.
Thanks so much,
Miriam.
Peggy.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Peggy. Now Boarding is our newest special exhibition in NMS, and we opened this year in May 2023, and it's been extended until February next year if you want to come. This exhibition, actually, the idea for it started all the way back about 2 years ago.
Yes.
When we were just coming out of the pandemic, and I'm sure you remember, Peggy, that
Yes.
all of us were hungry for travel, we were stuck at home, we were bored, and it made us at NMS realize that Singaporeans have travel in their DNA. We all love traveling, and it's been part of our country's identity since a really long time ago. So that was the seed that conceptualized this exhibition. We wanted to come up with something that would bring Singaporeans on a journey of Singapore's identity through travel from the 1800s all the way till today.
Yes. And talk us through the exhibition that we go through from as you enter.
Well, actually the experience starts from the minute you enter the museum in our rotunda space. So something we were really excited about was bringing in the Changi Airport flipboard.
Yes.
This was the Terminal 2 flipboard that many people remember for its iconic click, click, click sound with the little modules that would change and show you your flight. And so it was a huge piece, and it's drawn lots of people to look and remember what it was like to be in the airport. And that kickstarts your journey, so you feel like you're leaving Singapore, and then you go through the exhibition. There are 4 chapters. One looks at transport, the other at accommodation, one at food and beverage, and finally Singapore's sights, attractions and shopping. And all of these give you the experience of almost walking through a guidebook, experiencing Singapore through these different chapters.
And this is at the basement.
Yes, the basement of the museum.
Yeah. And you mentioned about the books in the beginning as we enter.
Yeah, so the very first thing you encounter when you step into the exhibition space is a small room. We call it the prologue, kind of like you would see a prologue when you're reading a book. And this space is filled with guidebooks arranged chronologically. So we have the oldest published guidebook in Singapore, that was published in 1887, and that's the first thing you see on your right. And it's really interesting. This was written by a man called T.J. Kieran. He was staying in Singapore for business. He left for about 3 years and came back, and he wrote about how much Singapore had changed. And I think that's a very common experience for many people. So it helps us see how travelers viewed Singapore is not something necessarily that was stuck in the past, but Singapore's identity as a place that changes and innovates continues till today. And that room helps set the tone for the rest of the exhibition, because the exhibition is designed like a guidebook with those different chapters.
Yes, yeah. And then we enter, this is the Singapore Airlines.
Yes.
Yes.
So Singapore Airlines is what greets you when you look into the space on transport. So the Singapore Airlines suite seats, that was something you remembered and liked.
Yeah.
That's one of our highlights. It was one of Singapore Airlines' real innovations back in 2007. This little cabin that you could have complete privacy, you could pull down the window blinds, you could recline your chair, and it helped us to demonstrate how Singapore's transport system, in the form of Singapore Airlines, among others, represents Singapore today.
And also the Raffles Hotel is one of the icons also in Singapore.
Yes.
Yeah.
So moving on from transport, we go to accommodation, places to stay, and what greets you there is the Raffles Hotel doorman uniform.
Yes.
We have 2 uniforms there actually, one a historic one, and the other is a contemporary doorman uniform that you can still see today, which is on loan from the Raffles Museum. And this is the iconic military-styled uniform with the turban.
Very interesting. And towards the inner, did you have also with the music changing? Or?
Yes, so
Yeah,
after
how do you call
the after the accommodation section, you go through food, and that section always makes me very hungry. But then you end up with some celebration with the sights, shopping, and attraction section. And this section really showcases something we're trying to do in our museum, which is make things more interactive and fun for our visitors. So we have an interactive station where you can scan your boarding pass, and a video comes on where you can dance along to some of the iconic moves that you would have found in the 1990s. Kids have really liked that interactive, and it's been really
fun. And the adult as well?
Some adults who are brave, yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. And as you walk in before enter to the exhibition, there is a discotheque, right? The music. Does it connect to this exhibition, or this is a separate station?
The disco room is connected to our exhibition. So this is one of a few different rooms that our marketing team has conceptualized that gives people an even deeper interactive experience. So this has been a real hit with visitors. You can go in and there's an interactive dance video, kind of like the video games you have, like Dance Revolution, that kind of thing. You can follow along, create your own little mini video of you dancing along to some disco hits.
I see. Interesting. Interesting, thank you. So you say this exhibition will end in February?
Yes, you have until February to catch it. So if you haven't, please come down to the museum and have a look.
Yeah, thank you. Do you have a little hint of after February, what's the interesting exhibition? Or
I have to keep that under wraps.
Okay.
Top secret, I'm afraid, but yeah, well, I guess you'll have to find out for yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think for TPAS, we will report in December video about the convention in Malacca. Thank you, bye.